And I think the thing that I've discovered in coaching is that it's all about the people I'm coaching, not necessarily their issues. Issues are interesting, but the people are fascinating. And they come in different shapes and sizes all the time.
Yeah.
If you're if I find in a people business, boredom is not a concern.
Yes.
So.
And so what would you, how did you transition from your consulting and what you were doing into being a coach? I think a lot of people now are thinking about being coaches. And so what was it that helped you head in this direction?
Well, I took a year off, as I mentioned just briefly, and that year off for me was recharge, recovery, but it was also, I decided I was going to spend a lot of time just seeking interesting people and scheduling coffees and lunches and just kind of doing a tour of interesting people. And so I had a lot of conversations with a lot of different people.
Networking, really, right?
Networking, but not looking for a job, really networking as to, I'm watching you, you're doing great stuff, I'm interested in what motivates you, kind of like you're interviewing me right now. And I discovered, I thought I might reinvent my life completely, you know, go open an inn in Vermont. And I discovered, you know what I like is about what I've been doing about 20% of the time as a consultant, which is working very closely with the individual who's got their hands on the authority in a company or on the levers of power, in helping them be more effective in what they do. I love helping people light up. I love helping people come alive. And I found this profession called coaching that is all about that.
Helps you do that, yeah.
And for me, I still love the game of business, so it's more executive coaching than life coaching, but it really is both. When I'm working with somebody, it's with the whole person.
So let's give a little plug to the company and the work that you're doing now.
Well, very interesting. Moving to Newburyport and having a new home was enough, so I decided to start a new business this year as well.
Total life change.
And again, as you might imagine, the Praemia Group, which is our new business with two partners that I've known for 17 years.
So let's say what the website is in case people want to find you, right?
So it's www.Praemia Group, Praemia Group.com.
Great.
And my partners Vince DiBianca and Dave Laveman have also been coaches and consultants for a number of years, as well as business owners. We've been in a men's group for 8 years, so we know each other deeply through a lot of close and personal conversation. And we're three guys in our early 60s who decided that we want to found a company making use of all of our experience, working for leaders who are really up to something big in the world. So we seek leaders and organizations that certainly are about running a profitable business for their shareholders, but beyond that are interested in running a business that has a positive impact on the growth, development, success of their employees, on the communities that they serve, and on the planet itself, given all the major issues we face on the planet. And to our delight, we're discovering those leaders are out there, for the good of us all. I'm delighted, and we're founding this business to help coach them to success.
That's great.
Again, people told me I was crazy. Why would you found a business in the worst business recession since the Great Depression? And
you just started, right?
and we said, why not? What better time to start a business? And which is a theme with me, where other people see problems, I see possibilities. That's just, I thank God for that. I mean, that's just an important part of my outlook on life, and I've really built my whole career around that single philosophy.
Yeah. So let's talk about men's groups, because just grab my attention for a second.
Yeah.
Do you want to say what those are and what one does in a men's group?
Well, we've been, we're not following any formula, and it was so typically men in the beginning. Our first meeting, which was 8 years ago now, it was May before 9/11, so it was in 2001. I remember it well. Three of the guys just called us together. And they said, let's just get to, we had all worked together in the past, and sort of kept in touch, but weren't really connected in any significant way. And so it felt sort of like a reunion, you know, like a nostalgia get-together.
Yeah.
And they called it the gathering of the souls. So it had a little spiritual element to it. And so it was more than just, you know, let's play poker and have fun. It was, let's connect. And I remember that first meeting, you know, a number of the guys saying, well, if I'm going to give up my home weekend, we have to produce something. You know, what are we doing here? And the flip charts came out, and we started making lists of the world's problems, and then we started making lists of our interests, and we were very production-oriented. And after about a day and a half, we were exhausted. And we said, why are we doing this? This isn't any fun. And we relaxed and just started talking to each other. And now we've evolved to a format where we meet 2 times a year for a weekend, and we just give each person an hour.
And you just talk about
there's 11 of us,
life?
and you basically talk about what you want to talk about. And you know, the oldest fellow now is in his early 70s, the youngest in his late 40s. So we have all those decades to kind of talk about life through that period. And we talk about life. We ask for help sometime. We offer help. We support each other. I'm now founding this business with 2 of the guys from the group. There's 2 other businesses in the group that have just naturally sprung up rather than us having to drive something.
So women tend to do this sort of thing, and it's unusual. Not that I haven't heard of men's doing men's group, but it's unusual. There aren't as many men's group as there are as women's organizations. So how has it? What impact has it made for you?
It's made a huge impact. You know, one of the things that I love, I'm grateful that I have realized at this stage of my life is how important relationships are. And not just acquaintances and not just go to ball game buddies, but relationships, people you get deep with, you can trust, and you feel safe in saying what's on your mind. And it certainly, I find it has helped me. It's helped me through a number of crises, you know, whether it's with raising my kids or launching a new business or just wondering what next to do in my life, to have that kind of loving care, you know, coupled with just great listening and good coaching.
Support.
You know, support, exactly.
Huge support, yeah.
Exactly. And one of the things I've learned, I'm trying to impart this to my son at age 24, is don't do it alone. You know, whatever you're up to, life is a team game. And trying to do it alone really shrinks your life. It shrinks what you can achieve. It shrinks your ambitions. I've said, and I certainly hear other people said it, that actually who I am as Don is actually a product of the relationships I have with people. People make me possible. My relationships with people bring me out, build me up.
So true.
Help me expand.
Yeah.
So this has
Which kind of goes along with what you were talking about before, which is if you're up, whatever you're thinking of doing to surround yourself or support yourself with people who support you, right? And who are, maybe have done it before. Yeah. Sort of in the same thing.
It's very interesting, Wendy, because as you know from our own professional relationship, much of my coaching actually has been helping people who are asking what's next and what do I want to do with my life. And I try to insert early with them the question, with whom? Not just what next, but what if we start with the people? What if we start with the people? And you know, in the Good to Great books, you know, Jim Collins, one of the things that he says is, first who, then what. Yeah. And I've taken that to heart. So, and even in the exploration phase, you know, get with people. Don't sit alone trying to figure it out.
Yeah, which is impossible.
Exactly. Yeah. And not only exploring what next, but who am I? You know, you've talked about gifts. You know, what are my gifts? And it's your friends that can help you see that. Yeah. It's hard to see it yourself sometimes. So
we talked about in one of our earlier shows, if you have no idea what your gifts are, ask 10 of your closest friends and just make a list of the things that they say, because they will see things that you cannot see yourself.
That's right.